So last week we had our spiritual freedom retreat, and we went there with a bunch of friends from Yearns. So it was, surprisingly, it was fun. I don't know the last time I was in a retreat. If I'm not mistaken, I think high school pa. So this was very timely because, you know, it was a discussion about culture. We discussed how the Jewish community had this culture of blessing from the father to the son or to the children, and then to the wife, and then from the children up to the father again. And I remember looking back at the story of Esau and Jacob and not really understanding that concept before of why it was so important to bless the firstborn and why you cannot give it away to Esau anymore. I'm getting married this year, and coincidentally, two of my closest friends, si Sheng and Vince, as well as Ate Y.E.A.R.N.S, who were also there during the retreat, are also getting married this year. So me and Andre are also getting married this year. So the three of us really took our time and really had a blast. At the same time, we were able to pick up a lot of things about how it's so important for you to embrace this culture of blessing and how it's important to have a sense of spiritual freedom. You get freed from your inner ties, your strongholds, things that used to tie us in our past. Because although we were all Christian, there were certain sets of beliefs that we individually had. Like for example, ako personally, I had beliefs in the past. I let go of words like, I don't want to be like my parents. I said really cruel words like that before, or I never want to marry a man like this or like that. So, akala natin wala lang yun. Pero what we learned from the retreat is that those things are things you have to let go of, things you have to pray about, because they might actually affect your relationship, not only with your partner, but also with your God. It's keeping you from having real freedom. So if there is anything holding you back from actually living your life for God, then that's a problem. There's no spiritual freedom there. Because ultimately what you want to have is a relationship with God that is personal and free. So you can't make it personal if free if there are things that you haven't let go. It was like having a clean slate and telling ourselves na, uy, this is new, this is amazing. And we had a better appreciation to why we have this blessing time, diba, in church. Me, Sheng, and Amor, when we were talking in our little groups, we talked about how before we had little pieces of ideas here and there about how we wanted to raise our families, how we wanted to be as wives to our husbands in the future, and we never quite got there. And we never knew that attending this supposedly only fun outing at first would provide us all the necessities for a good marriage, for good motherhood, and even being a good daughter, a good friend. So before we walk the aisle by the end of the year, but for the three couples, for all of us, this is something that we really take into heart. We want to have an upbringing with our children where there is always blessing. There's positivity. And it's not even about being successful or being happy, but having a sense of blessing despite whatever circumstances we will be in. We will always believe that we are blessed because we will always constantly have blessing with each other.